Should an 18-year-old have one in the Army?
Should they have military training?
Let's put to bed this argument that because an 18-year-old in the military has access to AR-15s, that every fucking 18-year-old should have access to AR-15s. Because in the military, you don't really have access to them. In basic training, you go to the range and you train. There are drill sergeants observing you, and they are ready to curb stomp your shit if you do anything that leads them to believe you might hurt another soldier. There are months of training and observation, not only for developing proficiency, but for observing whether or not you are mentally fit and capable of handling a weapon in a stressful environment. And then let's go to once you're out of basic and serving in the military. Unless you are in a combat theater, you don't walk around carrying an AR-15 on the base, unless you are part of the military police. In fact, most bases, I don't know about the most recent laws, but for all the time that I was in the Army, you couldn't carry a weapon. They are locked up in the armory. You have to sign them out. The serial number is associated with your name. Every single bullet must be accounted for. If a bullet goes missing, if a weapon goes missing, an entire base will shut down until that weapon is located. It is a highly regulated, highly controlled process. You don't just get to have a free-for-all. So why the fuck do regular people with no training, no observation, have the right to buy these on their 18th birthday? So that walking skid mark then goes on to describe how the AR-15 is no different than any other semi-automatic weapons platform that we've used throughout history. Except for it has a 30-round capacity and much higher velocity bullets with incredibly damaging terminal ballistics and a round that tumbles once it hits its target, causing an immense amount of damage. That the weapon is incredibly easy to shoot because it's gas-powered and has a spring-loaded a buffer spring that makes the recoil basically non-existent. You know, all the details that make the application for this firearm significantly different from, say, a .22 long rifle. I have been shooting since I was 10 years old. I spent 9 years in the Army and a year in Afghanistan. Average fucking people do not understand the power that these weapons possess. And no fucking 18-year-old really has the presence of mind to understand it either. So the next time anybody tries to make this argument, just remember, 18-year-old soldiers don't just get to walk around the fucking street with an AR-15. You're all fucking dismissed.